Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all my viewer. Uh, this time, I will continue the creating great customer service. 2 days ago, 2 days ago I tackled the introduction and the first topic of the great customer service. Mm. So, customer service is a corporate of life. This time, I will tackle the contact points of customer service. So, to all customer service, new and old, just watch this video as well, understand everything in this video. This is benefits for you. Okay. The contact points of customer service. For us, our most important stakeholder is not our stockholder, it is our customer. We're in business to serve the needs and desires of our core customer base. John Mackey, CEO, Whole Foods Market. Many companies do not realize that the customer service experience begins when their new potential or loyal customer. Number 1. Walk through the door of the office. Number 2. Approach the front desk or service counter. 3. Make a phone call for a service inquiry. Look for a company official for a business reason or make a service appointment. Number 4. Open to the company website. Number 5. Access an ATM. Number 6. Have to stand a line, wait for a long time before service can be rendered. And the last, number 7, experience a new or different service protocol that may not be better to the earlier version. Okay, again, draw in the middle, draw a circle, then outside the circle draw 7 circles. So number 1, in the middle of the circle write contact points, then outside of the circle number 1, security guards, number 2, telephone, number 3, website, number 4, front desk, number 5, waiting area, number 6, sales area, and number 7 is the queues. All these are customer contact points leading up to the front desk or sales counter. Each one is part of the overall customer experience. Each contact point complements the next one in the series of encounters that a customer will walk through. If a one contact point fails to deliver a positive or acceptable experience, the next one up the line can become irrelevant as the affected party will show some emotional distress which may influence the conduct of a business transaction. If several contact points will be involved, in this case, a customer may be lost. The uneducated only believe that bad service will only happen when the customer is interacting with the company sales representative and not before that. As per my experience, either serving a client or being the customer, I was able to establish that 7 out of 10 companies fail to provide a happy, pleasant, and convenient customer experience, and these starting points because they did not clearly recognize that this where the sales begins or end. These are mainly caused by the following factor. the security guard. In this country, the security guard is most often the first contact when one enters an establishment or parks at the parking area. Small private parking areas of tall buildings are usually badly configured against the estimated car owner among the tenants. These are usually more car owners than there are parking space. Most often the visitor of the tenants are vulnerable to guard abuse and complacency. Many are usually ill-trained or not trained at all to be alert and courteous to the incoming public. In establishments with high incoming traffic, they are a blur or to many as they are just checking if you are free of any deadly weapon as you enter the premises. If you have nothing to hide or are not intending to shoplift anything, you are usually always open to a hasty inspection that will not more than 4 seconds. In our efforts and government agency, it may last more than the due to the very rigid screening process. Hence, if you happen to be inspected by a tired aboard security guard, you will be definitely breeze through the fellow or be impatient in waiting your turn to sign in on the security logbook before getting security pass to proceed further on into the premises. They do not even bother to greet you. In a bank, restaurant, or retail store within outside a commercial mall, they are dormant and so there isn't much of customer experience to speak of. After door, another security guard will be encountered who mans the company reception area. In several hospitals, security guard double up as a gurney assistant as the emergency room, particularly if there is no one else to help a critical ill or wounded walk-in patient. However, where the real fellow who is supposed to be on standby to assist an incoming patient is not around, the security guard is forced to render the assistance against unless they have been trained in handling emergency patient. Believe it or not, they will be the most likely cause of a patient untimely demise. If you are calling someone in the company from your mobile phone or landline phone, chances are again that a security guard will be answering your call. Trained guards do not usually know how to handle your call, and this also generates an unhappy customer service experience. The automated voice message system. It is very frustrating to make phone call to a large company with an automated voice message system. One will find this prevalent among credit card companies, bank, telecoms company, hospital, school, airlines, and the utilities company, to name a few. If the caller does not know the local number of the party that is being reached, the system directs the caller to the telephone switch operator, usually the number 0 in the most cases. However, one will realize that it will take a while before the operator will be able to answer the caller, particularly if there is perhaps only one party manning the public system and there is a huge call traffic waiting online. Often one needs to redial at least twice before a connection is achieved to the telephone receptionist. What is our sour disappointment? Is a poorly programmed and managed voice message system which does not tell a caller what the company's office hours are from Monday to Sunday. The warm-bodied telephone receptionist. Telephone receptionists are the audio mirrors of a company's persona. The professional bearing of a company manifested through them. They are as important as the salesman since they are selling the company when they answer an incoming call in an emergency hotline number. They are the soothing voice for a life or death situation, almost as if you are talking to a guardian angel. Telephone receptionists in many 3 to 5 star hotels are consistently found to be most pleasant, courteous, and helpful company representative. at the electronics gate. They are well trained in the art of handling incoming calls. However, this is not the case for a lot of company, large and small. Perhaps this is operating units remains overlooked, mismanaged, or misunderstood for its importance as first contact point. Many telephone receptionists in general fail to: number 1, properly to greet the caller; 2, have a pleasant, courteous, and clear tone of voice; 3, listens to what the caller is talking about and know how to properly reply; 4, be a helpful company representative; 5, connect that caller the right party if the caller is making a call or the first time contact or the named party; and address the last number 6, address the caller concern if the party being contacted is unable to repeatedly answer the caller, either due to absence or unavailability. The company website. Many local companies have not properly designed their websites so they are informative, user-friendly, and above all, a marketing venue. They are either too simple or visually cluttered. They may be visually dull or exciting, hard-selling or soft-selling. Some are even vague, is describing who they are, what their business is all about, and particular who they can be a service to the customer. Many local websites do not reflect the kind of corporate image that is associated with their advertising persona, or for the matter, their corporate vision and the value statement. This is not to say that there are also overseas-based websites that have similar condition. And so, the viewers, particularly if it happen to be a customer or potential investor, will often be left unsatisfied for their inquiry about the company, especially for an after-sales service reason. A sale opportunity loss can thus unknowingly occur. One will learn that companies that rely heavily on emails to support their commercial viability do spend a lot of money to make sure that their website visitors are available to navigate to the right web page that are being queried and are able to answer the question that they have, or be able to place an order for a product that they want to buy online. Companies like Microsoft, eBay, Apple, McAfee or AVG, Walmart, Nordstrom, Avon, Coca-Cola, PepsiCo Company, Barnes & Noble, McDonald's, Universal Studio, and Disney are a few excellent role model examples that come to mind. Alright. The selling area reception. This is the place where a retailer achieves or fails to achieve its sale goes through its sales staff on the floor, bearing the issue of the merchandise selection on display and their prices. A lot of transaction can be achieved within right customer service move and salesmanship skill. This is, however, not the case for a majority of retailers, regardless of the type of product they are selling. In many small retail stores located in commercial malls, the sales staff are rather passive in generating a good deal of business from window shopper and those who are most likely going to buy their goods. Many do not greet a walk-in shopper begins with the salesmanship process. Many attended staff are usually behind the cashier counter and just staring at the incoming shopper instead of instinctively approaching them to start as possible sale transaction. There are many occasions where they really actually wait for the customer to call them for service assistance. Sadly, added to this is the service staff professional viewing. Many have poor or inadequate salesmanship skill to effectively close a sale or for what the money are not representable to the customer due to poor grooming or shabby dressing. The ambience of a selling area is also a key factor to a successful customer service condition. The brand image that is being projected is advertising should be translated in the selling area or the place of business in terms of physical to the sense good housekeeping. Supports the brand's good image and make for a to conduct one's business. The underman service counter. In some company, the customer service counter is actually the first and also the last contact point of a customer to the establishment. An undermanned service counter creates an opportunity loss for any company because it is unable to adequately service the number of customers that want to transact with the company. It is often result in a long queues where customers not accustomed to waiting too long will tend to leave the premises. A service counter is considered undermanned if there are some empty service booths during a business day. This is likewise true should all service booths are adequately manned, but where there are just too many customers that need to be served during a peak business period. For fast food companies, a long queues is a very good sign of their popularity and strong brand equity, particularly during the peak hours of business. However, it is also a danger signal for them if the customer are waiting in line for more than 10 minutes. This is because it defeats the very essence of the business paradigm, serving meals at the fastest possible time and for the most number of customers. Thus, one will see better operated companies, the store manager and some of the wait staff jumping into action. The moment there are at least 5 customers waiting in line, they immediately approach the third customer in line and write down their orders or on a printed notepad so that when the customer reaches the counter, the front line is quick to dispatch the order to the kitchen and get the order meal out within a minute or so on a serving tray. The transaction is a cup and payment is given as the serving tray is filled. This whole process is accomplished is not more than 3 minutes. In order to avoid this condition, airline companies require their passengers to check it in at least 2 hours prior to their flight's published departure time. With larger aircraft today such as the Airbus A380, airlines require a 5 hours procedure check-in so that the check-in counter staff are able to adequately service their customer without incidents. The uncaring staff. Okay, to all the customer service, all the new remembers this. The uncaring staff. Great customer service include providing the customer comfort and convenience when the party is about to make a business transaction. Badly trained staff couldn't care less how long you have waited in line to get service attention. And by the time it is your turn, they don't even acknowledge the agony it took for you to get to them. There are no apologies offered for making one wait for so long. The customer anguish is often overlooked. If on the other hand, the attendant staff serving such customer will offer an apology for their long wait, then it is highly probable the customer will be forgiving, would say it's alright. That way, the customer perception will remain positive and party concern would in all likelihood close transaction with a happy note. The uncaring attitude is not only seen along waiting line, it can be found and experienced in many other ways. In many movies, the house ushers and security team are most often inept in calling the attention of noisy and annoying the patrons who are bothersome so others in you that item you want in some department store that sales clerks are quick to tell you that the item you want to buy is out of stock, shoes and clothes, without actually verifying this fact. It is pretty much a ho-hum experience. Some will go through the motion but do not really do the deed right. The ATM. When it comes to personal banking, the automated teller machine or ATM has provided the mass market with the greatest convenience of all when there is a need to withdraw cash and do other transactions anytime and anywhere. The ATM is a bank extended business facility for its customer in satisfying the convenience attribute of its service and be a cost-effective workhouse for the bank 24/7. It is now a way of life, part of anyone's lifestyle regardless of the social class ones belong to. However, this too creates bad customer experience when the need to withdraw money at the time needed is not satisfied when the ATM is out of the service. It has no money or just plain operationally dead as if it's offline in the main bank. Another is irritant. It is the denomination that machine carries so that you do not have flexibility to withdraw the right amount that you need as machine has a specific denomination loaded up. Thus, withdrawal transactions are rejected between 200 pesos and 400 pesos as they may not have the 100 peso bill in them. Moreover, many customers complain about the high fees charged per withdrawal, which actually a disincentive to use the machine, particularly the network link one where you can access machine of another bank name. Lastly, the personal security of the customer is sometimes at risk as most ATMs are not secure, thereby allowing a customer to be held to be a hold-up candidate. There have also been many incidents where a false facade is installed by syndicate robbers into the machine so that this gadget serves as a barrier to the actual dispensing of the cash, and so the unsuspecting customer would think that the machine is malfunctioning. In America, many ATMs have a closed-circuit televisions that is located either within the machine facing the customer or above the machine. Thus, this provides some form of security protection to the customer during a transaction. In particular, should the withdrawing parties by using a stolen ATM card. The waiting area. There are many companies that have customer waiting areas like those found at the big utility firms when one will pay a bill or make other business transaction. In order to prevent daily mayhem, such company have a customer service priority number ticket that is issued to each customer at the area's entrance. An electronic billboard continually informs those waiting what the number is ready to be served and which service booth they are to go. While that is good, the company will nevertheless encounter a customer service problem, particularly if there are still many customers that needs to be served by the close of office hour. Those that may not be served will be naturally angry, frustrated. These emotions are usually not addressed. A different service protocol. Many service-oriented companies do not realize that their product or service application should be consistent during each customer visit and at each customer contact point. Any change or deviation from what their happy customer is accustomed to and can alter their patron views of them and may not encourage the customer to return. Like a recipe ingredients, for example, the instruction for its use follows a procedure, otherwise the outcome of the final dish may not taste the same or be the tasted that the brand wants to achieve. Being creatures of habit, the customer will always want to be served by the favorite staffers as a customer relationship may have been built up over time. Look those in the case of service providers such as the barbershop, salon, health spa, auto repair shop, fine dinner restaurant, and golf club. If the individual is absent during a visit, the customer may not opt to return another day, OPT, or if in a hurry, agree is in a skeptical way to the replacement fellow. However, if the substitute may do a better job, then a service problem will not possibly happen. The customer remains happy or happier, and so in the next visit, will the customer prefer the substitute or will she still ask for the favorite service person? It is a thought question, isn't it? Okay, draw 6 rectangle, but first draw first customer, draw a rectangle and write a customer, then greater than from the left, from upper deviated process, from lower regular process. From deviated process, draw 2 rectangles from the upper and the lower rectangles. So from the upper come back, from the lower fall out. From the lower of customer, regular process, just draw 1 rectangle. So write repeat business. Deviation will always have risk. If such changes needs to happen, the establishment should be curious as to how in customer are appreciating the company. If many do not like it or will not accept it, then the establishment should abort the undertaking. Hence, the establishment must see to it that if ever there will be a change, it will be a better person reason and not as a cost-cutting measure or even an oversight or negligence. Okay, this is for the topic, the contact points of customer service, but that is called creating great customer service. Okay, so again, creating great customer service, the contact point of customer service. So all my viewers and friends, just watch full video and like, then also subscribe as well, click all bell to get more new videos from me. Alright, so share this video to all the customer service from the old and new. Thank you and God bless you all. Good morning.